Hey everybody, SinTax77 here, back with another edition of SinChats. Feeling pretty good today, fresh off of a trip from Kentucky, a little backpacking trip that I did with my wife, Mike, and his wife, Danielle. The four of us went down to good old Kentucky, drove around 10 hours southwest of our home here right after work on Thursday night, and went to the Red River Gorge. Or actually that night we drove around 7.5 out of a 9.5 hour, 10-hour drive to Huntington, West Virginia. Got a little cheap motel there, Red Roof Inn action. Slept from maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock or so until 7. Got up and drove the last couple hours down to Red River Gorge, which is about, I don't know, an hour short of Lexington, Kentucky. So that was a great time, had a great trip, kind of last trip of the official summer, right there on Labor Day weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we were in there, came out Sunday afternoon, hung around and explored Kentucky by car a little bit. Next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock, we're still in Kentucky, we got to work the next day, so hop in the car. A lot of Red Bulls, no, actually not Red Bull, Rockstar and Monster and anything that was on those 2 for $3 sales, all the way from Kentucky through on back here to Delaware. Whew, it was interesting. Got here, like I said, around 5:15 in the morning. But that was yesterday. Went into work, floated through that, and here I am now with you. So for those of you who were wondering why there wasn't a SinChats that came out yesterday, they usually come out on Mondays. That's why, but I justified. I said, it's a holiday, right? I can do this tomorrow. So here I am. And while we were down there, it was great. We actually ran into, the main reason I went down there, and of course this will all come out in the video, but previous time I went down for a video and people were really giving me, busted my hump a little bit saying, man, you really walked by some good spots. So I went down and without too much of a spoiler, we did do a fresh trip and hit some of those spots and it was fun, but it was kind of ironic while we were on top of one of said spots. We're hanging out there for a while and then we start walking back to our campsite and we ran into somebody who's apparently a viewer. He recognized Mike and I, and he ended up being really cool. So we chatted with him up there on this kind of view area. And then they were actually camping not too far from where we were in this really cool spot. So we hung out with them at night for a little bit as well around the fire. He's Hungry Bear from kywilderness.com, which is like a forum for sharing and talking about Red River Gorge. So gotta say thanks to Hungry Bear for hanging out, giving me some tips, even left me a little map with some notes on it and stuff. So that was really cool. But I'll tell you what, while we were down there, sweating it up, which brings me to the topic of this video at hand here. It's just so hot, and it really got me thinking about weather and seasons. And to tell you the truth, honestly, it was probably worse because it was only, I'd say from the forecast, I don't know what it really did, 88, maybe 90 degrees forecasted, but it was really humid and exacerbated by the fact that the week before, literally the weekend before, we were 1,029 miles northeast up in New Hampshire, and it was like going down into the, the 40s at night and never even touching the 70s during the day. So we went from that extreme one weekend down into Kentucky the next, and man, we were just sweating everywhere. And that really got me thinking about, and it's often come up, people have asked me, what is your favorite season to backpack in? And that's a good question. I think I've tried to answer it a couple times. I don't know if my answer has ever been the same twice because I'm kind of on the fence. It's like you think, I start to think I like one better than the other, and then I do another, and I get all confused. I'm sure you all have your own opinions too, which I'm kind of looking forward to hearing. But I'm thinking if I was pressed to pick, and I guess my true way I think to look at it is, not definition of favorite backpacking season would be you literally have to choose. Magic Genie comes out of the bottle and says you're going to hike in one season from here on out. What's it going to be? Summer, spring, fall, winter. That's tough, man. I'll tell you what, and once I said I might do this for a video, I stopped thinking about it because I wanted to kind of think through it fresh here, so bear with me. But first off, all right, there's summer, right? Summer, probably not going to be it. A non-backpacker might be surprised by this, right? Or a newer backpacker. And it's definitely the prime season because that's vacation season, and it doesn't ever get brutally cold, so summer is very popular. But favorite one, I'm going to say no, because it's so hot and humid. Why deal with that? I guess it depends what region you live in too. So maybe I'm kind of jaded. Maybe some of you can chime in from different regions, and I'm sure you have a completely different idea. But for me, who basically does the spread of the two areas I just talked about, summer, it can just be a little too hot, and there's a lot of bugs. But I do like, and this is why sometimes I'm out there in the summer and I go, maybe I do like summer the best for fleeting moments. You can carry the least amount of gear, right? I mean, you're definitely packing light because you're not carrying all those heavier clothes that even you would in, say, fall or something, which we'll get to in a minute. But then the more I thought about that, I'm thinking, well, actually, when you're sweating so bad, you end up saying, you know what, maybe I should bring an extra or one more pair of underwear or socks than I usually do, because I'm just going to be a funky mess by the end of this. So that's kind of something to think about too. So, not summer. Winter, opposite extreme, let's go there. There's been times I've been out and I've been like, I love winter camping, and I do, but I've been like, maybe this is my favorite season. It's definitely no bugs, and there's less crowds for sure. You know, it's a little bit more of an experienced or possibly crazier crowd that goes out for that. And crowd is kind of a bad word because relative to summer, there's not many people around, so the trails are all yours for the most part compared to summer. And the terrain is totally different, at least maybe not so much for if I did a Kentucky trip in the winter, but New Hampshire, it's like a whole nother planet in winter because you got 6 feet plus 5 to 6 feet of snowpack on the ground. You're snowshoeing, everything's different. So it's like you can do the same trail in winter and it's totally different. So that's very exciting. You can walk across lakes instead of going around them, which I did in Adirondacks. That's super fun. So winter, well, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's above summer. I'm going to put winter above summer. Downside of winter, you got to carry so much stuff, and you could die, especially up in like New Hampshire and stuff. Much more threat of that. Sure, you could get heat stroke in the summer, but you really need to have it together for winter. So there's a lot more planning, a lot more weight, not just food. I mean, not just clothes, but food comes to mind. You got to burn more calories, so you're just hauling a lot of crap around. So I don't think it's winter, but I do love winter backpacking. So, plus snowshoes on your feet. Oh man. All right. Well, I'm going to move on. That leaves me with spring. Spring and fall. I think it's probably going to be one of these that is my favorite. I literally don't know which one I'm about to pick. I think I might. I don't know. Let's talk through it. Spring or fall? You know, random thought too, for those of you wondering, this stylish new cap, I forgot to mention, my little reason that I wear a hat in this, got a little tradition when I go down to Kentucky. On the way back, you got to stop in a Walmart, and it's got to be in West Virginia, and it can't be in the panhandle up towards Maryland, West Virginia. I'm talking real deep West Virginia down in the body there. You got to stop at a Walmart. Well, you don't have to, but I do for my tradition. On the way back, and got to find a domestic branded beer hat that's also camouflage. So, first time I went, Keystone Light, full camo. This time, a little Miller Lite action going on there, for those of you wondering. So that's my little tradition for that. Now, where was I? For those of you who haven't tuned out after that random ADD moment. Right, we're down to the final two. The cliffhanger. See, I made you hold on there. All right, so spring or fall? Spring, you got all that blooming going on, right? All your flowers are coming out. You're pretty excited that that winter is over. So, you know, that's exciting. Although because of winter being over, the water levels are really high. So you got to watch out for that. But that's not so bad because it also means it's easy to get water. So that's a plus. And the flowers coming out and all the pretty colors, that's a plus too. So spring, pretty cool. But I think I'm going to go for fall. Definitely going shoulder season, spring versus fall. I think I'm going to go fall for the following reasons. It's crisp cool, but it's not cold. Yeah, you might have to bring an extra down jacket or at least a longer sleeve shirt, depending on what area of the country you're going. But it's not painfully cold, but it's not hot. And the bugs are going away, especially depending what region you're in. There might be no bugs at all. You could sleep with the net off of your hammock. Yeah, fall's pretty good, man. You also get colors in fall just like spring too, only now you're getting fall foliage, so that's cool. You get the leaves changing. If you time it right, you can. I've had some awesome fall trips. So still get the colors, don't get the bugs, and don't get sweat everywhere. So I think, me personally, I'm gonna go with fall as my favorite. Yep. Final answer. I like fall the best for backpacking. Ask me next week. Probably will say something different, but I am going with fall. It is harder to find water in the fall. That's not so great, but the water crossings are easy too. So if you plan it right, pretty good. Yep. Okay, sticking with it. My favorite backpacking season is fall. That's just me though. I'd be interested in hearing what you guys have to say. What's your favorite backpacking season? Maybe there's something I forgot. I'm sure there is. A plus or a minus to one of the different seasons. And then of course, you know I got to venture out towards other areas besides the East Coast, so I might be completely missing something here. So, I don't know, tell me about your region. What's your favorite season in your region or area for your hiking style? Yep. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. Just knocked out another one. Another edition of SinChats down. I will catch you next week. Till next time, I'm Syntax77. Have fun out there.